Start.
Good afternoon. Actually, to express your knowledge regarding English, there are so many ways. Sometimes we believe that learning English is at present very important. This is true. There is no doubt that we have no substitution of learning English. But there are some questions. Are you successful? Can you consider yourself as a successful person that you learned English and you were expert in English? Is it okay? And is that enough? No. There are some questions, and out of them, the most important question is: are you capable of expressing what you know in front of audience? Can you convince people about some burning issues? For example, if you look about look at the board. I wrote something on this board, and it was mass awareness. And the point is, the topic is coronavirus. You know, nowadays, the most important and common phenomenon is this pandemic virus. For what the whole world is now stuck. Now, there are some ways that we can follow to make a presentation in front of people, because there will be some situation in where you have to work as a person who is consulting people publicly. So for this you have to make yourself prepared all the time, and that's why I just made this plan for my students as well as who are interested to present himself or herself in front of audience. This is the way. Let's begin. I selected this coronavirus topic, and I divided this topic into some points. For example, I made this headline as mass awareness. Why? Actually, I cannot talk about this virus thoroughly. I cannot say everything related to this issue, but I can give you some common points that I have in my mind. But my target is not to express my knowledge about coronavirus. My target is to teach you how to represent or how to convince people in such a period. Okay, let's begin. If we talk about, let's start with introduction. What is coronavirus? Actually, do we know much about this virus? No, we don't. The more, if you ask me what do I know about this, then I just know this is a virus named COVID-19, and first it was introduced in China. The city name was a small town named Wuhan, and from there it was introduced first. And later on then it was spread to some other countries. At present, if you talk about the present situation, we exactly don't know what is the situation is going on all over the world, because we don't get the exact statistics from WHO or any other organizations who are working for health. But at least we can say that more than 150 countries of the world have been stuck, and they are in panic just because of this coronavirus. So at least we can say that day by day the number of affected people have been increasing, and this is very rarely possible for any of the organizations or any of us or any institutions or doctors to stop it. So the present situation, with the passage of time, it is being worse and worse. And so far we know that there are some badly affected countries are like China, Italy, France, some other countries that we don't know. Now come to the effects. How does it affect? Actually, I cannot talk about the physical but morphological part, because I am not a doctor and I cannot give you some ideas about this. But I can say this: it can create such a panic that you will die just because of yourself. It will create a mental illness among you. It already created. People are very much afraid of going to market. They are just afraid of going anywhere. They even don't like to talk with their family members just because of this. So most important effect comes mentally, not physically. Physical effect is happening just when this virus is attacking you. But before attack, what is happening? We are in panic, and we are afraid that somehow or someday this virus is going to attack us. So the dangerous one is our mental sickness. And physical sickness is, so far we just heard that mostly affected people are who are just above 60 years old. I'm not sure, but I heard this from different sources that I've seen, the people who already died by this coronavirus was majority of them were more than 60 years old. Now come to the solution. Actually, my target was to talk about the solution, how we can prevent this situation. And this is not possible for any single person or individual or government or institution to stop this. But what can we do in general? For solutions, I make some separate points like this. You can see 4 points, separate points. And first point is staying home. Let's talk about staying home. What did I mean actually by staying home? Doctors are working in hospital, but they are taking their actually that is very risky for them, but still they are working. So in respect to them, if we want to show the due respect for the doctors, they are requesting us, brothers and sisters, dear patients, we have been working for you and we are sacrificing our lives. We don't know that whether we may be being affected soon by this virus, but keep our request, stay at home. So first, our duty is to stay safely in our home. Without reason, we should not be going outside into the market, to the shopping mall, stadium, and a beach. We have seen in many news and newspapers that people are they are just enjoying their time in different type of tourism place. So we should try to keep ourselves confined, because this is a time, actually terrible time. First of all, we have to survive. Then we can think of the next thing, or think about the future. Now come to the second one, don't panic. This is the most important part. Okay, let's talk about the people who are not educated, who don't have much knowledge about sickness, disease, and health. Especially think about the village people. The village people are always depending on the town people, just on the issues of any type of health or regarding any educational fact. So we have to help them first. In town, people are a little bit educated. So if something happens regarding this virus, then they can prevent themselves somehow. But if we spread false news, if we spread superstitions and rumor about this virus, then what can it be? What may happen? Let's look for a few seconds. Let us think. For example, now you are the people, and I'm trying to help you, and I'm trying to create awareness among you. Then what can I do? First of all, you cannot believe in superstition. Some people think that religion and God directly can help us. Obviously, God can help us. This is true, but God never, or Almighty never said you to lead a life however you want. And if you don't keep yourself safe, if you don't try to keep yourself safe, then He will save you. He never said it. So we should not be believing superstition. Sometimes we are saying that this virus is for affecting some of the fixed people, and they say based on religion. This is not based on religion. This is based on an area. So, but see, it was started in China. Now it went to all other countries of the world. So, can you say this is based on a religion? No. So, first of all, please be educated, be calm. Don't panic and don't spread any false news. Just try to make people aware that what should they do and what should they not do. We are focusing on mask, but only mask cannot protect you. You have to wash your hands. You have to keep your home clean. You have to take care of your children where they are going. Are they keeping themselves clean or not? This is the most important thing, because this is a respiratory disease. And it is normally spread by your facial part, like your nose, mouth, eyes, etc. So keep your mouthal part, oral part safe. Now come to cleanliness, as I already talked about this. Actually, this related to this cleanliness. How can you keep yourself clean? Is it also true that all the time it's not possible for you to get a hand wash? So in this case, you can use normal general soap, detergent. That's not a problem, but with an interval of 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, according to the doctor's prescription, they advised us to wash our hand, and we have to, for example, I am now wearing a dress, and after returning to my home, will I change it? I don't know, but I should, because the situation now is worse. So, after going to my home, or all of you who are present now, after going to your room, you should change your clothes and try to wash it if possible, and change your clothes and keep them clean. And I come to the basic treatment. There are some basic treatment. Okay, I'm not a doctor, and I can say that I cannot give you the right information. But one thing you can do is find out the nearest hospital. Keep the numbers. keep the numbers, hotline numbers, noted on your notebook or somewhere on your door, so that immediately if you need any assistance, if you are know what are the symptoms. The symptoms of this disease is high fever, cough, and pain, just like this. And why does it happen? If you don't take water regularly, and we hear this disease is affected, this virus affect us when we stay in temperate or in lower than cool area. So we have to think about this. The cause, if we think about the cause, then the solution becomes easy. For that, you always have to look at television. Now this is our friend. Television, radio, newspaper. We can get the right news from the newspaper and television. And television always provides you the present condition, what is going on in your country, in your area. Maybe as I'm staying in Sylhet, we don't know whether this city is going to be locked down by government very soon. So if any decision taken by government, then we have to accept it and we have to respect it, because your life is not only yours. If you die, if I die, nobody cares about it, because my life is now connected with so many people. If I'm affected, then it will be affected to my students, because they are in touch of me all the time. For me, my family will be affected. So what's my responsibility? My responsibility is, somehow if I feel that the diagnosis or the symptoms of the disease is present in me, then I have to talk to the doctors, or I have to take the consultancy of any hospital. So that's all for the time being of this presentation. Actually, my target was not to make aware of people about this disease. My target was to show a presentation, how to make a presentation as an English speaker. If you want to be English speaker, then you have to be good representative and you have to present well. That's all for the time being. Thank you very much.